Turtle false freedom and the prison of the mind. We live in an age where you can go anywhere, do anything, and become anyone. But there's still one prison you can't see, your own mind. Have you ever felt that way? You have instant access to the entire knowledge of humanity. You can travel across the world, order food from any culture, or talk to someone on the other side of the planet. And yet, you still feel lost, empty, anxious, angry, and often unsure of who you really are. This isn't a problem of our times. It's a problem of being human. And more than 2,000 years ago, one Roman emperor felt exactly like you do now. Marcus Aurelius, the ruler of the most powerful empire in history, was also a man who wrestled daily with fear, anger, and loneliness inside his own mind. But instead of giving in, he wrote down what he learned, not to teach others, but to remind himself. When Marcus said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events, realize this, and you will find strength." He wasn't trying to write a trendy quote for social media. He was writing a lifeline, something to keep himself sane through war, betrayal, and loss. That's why the words of Marcus Aurelius aren't just philosophy. They're the weapons, they're inner compasses. They're antidotes to the anxiety and chaos of the modern world. In this video, I'll guide you through 10 quotes that could change your life if you truly listen, understand, and live them. But before we begin, ask yourself, are you ready to master your mind? Instead of being mastered by it, if your answer is yes, then let's begin. Epictetus here. Quote number 1, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Pause for a moment and really think about this. How many times in your life have you felt out of control? When someone talked behind your back, when the person you loved grew distant and walked away, when the world spun into chaos and injustice, when you were rejected, overlooked, or failed miserably, you felt powerless, angry, hurt, and sometimes you wanted to blame the whole universe. But Marcus Aurelius didn't see it that way. He said, real strength isn't about changing the world. It's about changing how you respond to it. The world will always be a storm. You must be the calm within it. Marcus didn't live in a perfect world. He ruled an empire in decline. He was betrayed by those close to him. He lost his children. He suffered physically and emotionally. But instead of becoming bitter or cruel, he chose the path of Stoicism. And through that philosophy, he learned to stay calm in betrayal, compassionate in the face of hate, and honorable even with absolute power. So what's your lesson today? You can't control who loves or hates you. You can't control who leaves or betrays you. You can't control the chaos of the world, but you can always control how you respond. And that alone is an extraordinary kind of power. Your first Stoic challenge today. The next time you're provoked, insulted, or hurt, don't react right away. Pause, observe your mind, and choose your response instead of just reacting. Because as Marcus said, you have power over your mind, and that's the only thing you ever truly need to control. Ready to move on to quote 2. Let's keep going. The quote number 2, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Picture this. You're in a conversation where everyone's debating what it means to be a good person. One says, "A good man helps others." Another argues, "No, a good man always tells the truth, even when it hurts." Someone else insists, "A good man fights for justice." And then Marcus Aurelius steps in, calm, unwavering, and simply says, "Stop arguing, just be it, live it." Marcus's wake-up call. You want to be a man worthy of respect? You want to live a life of depth, meaning, and no regrets? Then stop talking, start living. Show it through your actions, not your words. Stoics don't care who you say you are. They watch how you rise when it's hard, stay composed when insulted, and keep your word when no one's watching. Let this quote challenge you. When you witness injustice, do you stand up? When someone needs help, do you step in or scroll past? When you fail, do you make excuses or take responsibility? That's the difference between someone who talks and someone who becomes. Marcus's philosophy of action is clear. Don't teach people what's right. Do what's right and let your life be the lesson. In a world full of noise, arguments, and social media, it's easy to fall into the trap of looking good rather than being good. But you're walking the Stoic path, and that demands more. Your second Stoic challenge today. Today, don't post about virtue. Instead, quietly do one right thing that no one sees. Maybe it's forgiving someone. Maybe it's cleaning up, helping out, or keeping a small promise. Because as Marcus said, a good man doesn't argue about virtue, he just lives it. Shall we continue with quote number 3? Shakrutur. Quote number 3, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius wasn't just speaking about philosophy, he was speaking about freedom. Not external freedom, but the highest form of freedom, freedom within your own mind. Because you can't control if someone betrays you. You can't control rejection, job loss, or heartbreak. You can't control the weather, war, or rising prices. But you can always control one thing, your response. Here's the brutal truth Marcus wants you to face. You're not suffering because of your circumstances. You're suffering because of the thoughts you attach to those circumstances. One harsh comment for the weak is a dagger. For the strong, it's just wind passing by. One failure, for the average person, feels like the end. For the Stoic, it's a lesson, a fresh start, fuel for the soul. Let this quote dig deep into your thinking. Are you living like the world owes you happiness? Or have you started training your inner strength like a Stoic warrior? When you stop trying to force the world to match your desires and instead start shaping the way you show up to the world, you begin your true transformation. Marcus never promised life wouldn't hurt, but he did promise this: if you control your mind, you cannot be destroyed. Someone leaves you, fine. You can't control them, but you control your self-worth and how you rise. Career falls apart. You can't undo the past, but you control your belief that you'll rebuild. Your third Stoic challenge. Today, write down 3 things that are making you anxious, tense, or overwhelmed. Then circle. Which of these can you actually control? The rest? Let it go. Not out of weakness, but because you've grown stronger. Marcus reminds us, when you realize you only control yourself, You're already stronger than 99% of the world around you. Get ready to move on to quote number 4. Quote number 4. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. We've all been hurt, betrayed, disrespected, insulted, and our first instinct is almost always anger, retaliation, the desire to make them pay. But Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor with absolute power over life and death, taught the exact opposite. The best revenge is not to become like the one who wronged you. Because when you respond with hate, you become a distorted mirror of the very person you despise. They lash out with cruel words. You fire back with sarcasm. They lie to you. You plot your payback through deception. They abandon you. You swear to hurt them twice as much. And just like that, you go from being someone with principles to becoming the very enemy you once stood against. A true Stoic refuses to go down that path. They live by this truth. Keep your soul untainted, even when the world tries to drag you through the mud. The greatest revenge isn't rage. It's composure. It's moving forward. It's success, done silently. At the heart of this philosophy, the strong don't tear others down. They lift themselves higher. The wise don't scream. They act with maturity. The Stoic doesn't waste energy on grudges because they're too busy building a better version of themselves. True strength lies in not reacting. Not because you're weak, but because you've risen above the emotional battlefield. They don't deserve your peace. They don't deserve your dignity. They don't deserve your time. Your fourth Stoic challenge. Next time someone insults or betrays you, pause for 5 seconds. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, who will this reaction turn me into? If the answer isn't a better version of yourself, then do nothing. Silence is the loudest roar. Marcus reminds us, don't let others decide your character by dragging you down to their level. Ready to continue to quote number 5? We'll keep exploring the timeless gems of Marcus's wisdom. Quote number 5. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The world is a storm. People change. Money comes and goes. The words and actions of others are never under your control. But there's one thing that always is: your own mind. Marcus never promised life would be easy, but he gave us something far better: an unbreakable shield. If you control your mind, you are no longer a victim of your circumstances. People may criticize you, the world may turn its back on you, even your best laid plans may fall apart, but you still have one unshakable power: the power to choose your thoughts and your response. The Stoic question that sets you free: is this within my control? If yes, take action. If no, let it go. That's it. No complaints, no drama, no torment. When you stop trying to control what you can't, you finally begin to master what matters most: yourself. You can't stop people from gossiping, but you can remain calm. You can't make someone love you again, but you can love yourself more deeply. You can't change the past, but you can choose to make the present meaningful. This philosophy isn't just for surviving, it's for thriving in the middle of chaos. Most people spend their whole lives fighting the outside world, forgetting that real power lies within. Stoic practice. Number 5, lock in your mind. The next time something leaves you anxious, hurt, or angry, remind yourself, I can't control this, but I can control my thoughts. I choose not to react. I choose to observe. I choose peace. Repeat it like our Stoic ritual, until the world can no longer shake you so easily. Marcus reveals a timeless truth. The greatest power isn't the ability to conquer others. It's the ability to master yourself. Ready to move on to, quote, 6 case. Marcus's Stoic wisdom still has many deep and life-changing insights waiting for you. Virtuous, quote number 6. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. You don't live through your circumstances. You live through your thoughts. It sounds simple, but this is nothing less than a revolution of the mind. You could live in a mansion, but if your mind is filled with fear, doubt, comparison, and resentment, you're not truly happy. On the flip side, someone with little material wealth, but a mind full of gratitude, peace, and purpose, lives in paradise. Marcus is revealing an eternal truth. It's not what happens to you that matters most. It's how you think about what happens. Losing a job could be a tragedy or a fresh start. Rejection could be failure or freedom. Loneliness could be suffering or a chance to reconnect with yourself. Everything depends on the quality of the thoughts you choose. We're taught how to earn money, earn degrees, buy homes, and get married. But no one teaches us how to think. And Marcus warns, if you neglect your mind, you'll lose your happiness, even if you gain everything else. Ask yourself, what is your mind feeding on? If you wake up with anxiety, you'll see the whole day through a lens of fear. If you wake up with gratitude, you'll receive life like a gift. The quality of your life is simply the result of your thinking habits. Stoic practice. Number 6. Clean your mind daily. Each morning, pick one Stoic quote you love and read it aloud in front of a mirror. When a negative thought shows up, don't react. Just observe it and ask, does this thought make me stronger? Is this from clarity or just a passing emotion? Thinking is a choice. Happiness is a choice. No one but you can choose which thoughts you allow to stay in your mind. And you deserve a beautiful life, starting with a beautiful mind. Marcus lived through war, grief, and the crushing burden of ruling an empire. And yet he wrote with calm, wisdom, and compassion, because he had trained his mind to be an unshakable fortress. The real question is, are you ready to do the same, starting today? Let's move on to quote number 7, where we'll explore a powerful Stoic lesson on acceptance and letting go. You'll discover that the tighter you grip some things, the more they slip away. But when you release at the right moment, you become your strongest self. Virtuous, quote number 7, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Most people are controlled by the outside world. We feel happy when praised, upset when criticized. We feel calm when life goes our way, anxious when it doesn't. But Marcus Aurelius, in the middle of a chaotic empire, wrote something radically different. True strength doesn't come from controlling the world. It comes from controlling how we respond to it. Inner power begins with a simple realization. I can't control others, but I can control myself. You can't control what people say, but you can choose not to take it personally. You can't control the economy, but you can choose to stay grounded. You can't control who leaves your life, but you can choose not to lose yourself. Stoic practice. Number 7, the circle of control. Every day draw 2 circles. 1, your circle of control, your actions, your mindset, your responses, your goals. 2, what's outside it. Other people, outcomes, the weather, the past. Then, invest 100% of your energy into circle number 1. This is how you stay strong without being drained by the chaos of life. You don't need a peaceful world. You need a peaceful mind. Because the moment you tie your happiness to things you can't control, you've already given away your personal power. But when you anchor it inside, the only place you truly own, you don't just become strong, you become free. Marcus didn't just talk philosophy, he lived it. When his child died, he didn't collapse. He wrote about resilience. When he was betrayed, he didn't seek revenge. He wrote about compassion. When he went to war, he brought a journal to remind himself that everything external is temporary, but inner dignity is forever. Real strength isn't about having a perfect life. It's about staying centered even when life falls apart. And that strength, it's already in you. All you have to do is look inward. Coming up in quote 8. We'll explore a truth most people avoid, the shortness of life, and why facing death directly is the real key to living fully. Don't turn away. What's next might change the way you live forever. Quote number 8. Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good. No one likes to think about death, but by ignoring it, we often end up postponing our lives. We delay saying, I love you. We delay forgiving. We delay our dreams, our plans, and real living. Marcus didn't write these words during a quiet afternoon tea. He wrote them during war, when death walked beside him every day. And he didn't avoid it. He used it to live more fully. Stoicism teaches, only when you remember that you will die, do you truly start to live. You could leave this life at any moment, so let what you do be worthy of that fact. Don't waste another day in anger, jealousy, or pettiness. Live according to your deepest values. Now, not when you have time. Stoic practice number 8. Memento Mori. Remember you will die. This isn't pessimism, it's clarity. When you wake up in the morning, ask yourself, if today were my last, how would I live it? Before you speak, ask, if this were the last thing they ever heard me say, what do I want them to remember? When you're about to postpone a dream, ask, if not now, then when? Marcus understood, death itself isn't the real fear. The real fear is reaching the end without ever truly living. He didn't promote fear. He didn't promote pleasure-seeking. He promoted you awareness, to live with presence, kindness, and courage in the face of fading time. So don't wait for a special day to live well. Every morning you wake up is a gift, and every day you treat yourself, others, and the world with kindness. You are living well in the way Marcus hoped we would. While you live, while it is in your power, be good. Don't wait. No one knows how much time is left. Coming up in quote number 9. You'll discover a Stoic principle that helps you navigate any chaos or failure. The art of minimal reaction, You'll see why responding less often leads to living more with freedom, depth, and emotional clarity. Don't miss it. The next few moments could reshape the way you handle life forever. Perman, quote number 9, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The world out there will always be chaotic. There will always be things you can't control. A friend who betrays you, a lover who leaves without explanation, an opportunity that slips away, a situation that doesn't go the way you hoped. But Marcus makes it clear, none of those things define you. The only thing you truly own is your mind, how you think, and how you respond. Being stoic doesn't mean being emotionless. It means learning how to master your emotions so they don't master you. You can't stop the rain from falling, but you can learn to dance in it. You can't stop someone from disliking you, but you can learn to love yourself more deeply. Marcus didn't write these words from a place of comfort. He wrote them from your battlefields, through plagues and political betrayal, when everything outside him was falling apart. But he didn't fall apart with it. He kept his mind clear, like a lantern that stayed lit in the storm. Stoic practice. Number 9, take your power back. When something happens, instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, how can I respond in a way that makes me stronger? You can't control the world, but you can always control one thing, your attitude. And your attitude is where true freedom and true strength begins. You're not weak because you've been hurt. You're only weak if you believe that pain defines who you are. Stoicism reminds you, everything that happens is just data. You decide what meaning, if any, it holds in your life. Realize this, and you'll find the unshakable power, one that depends on no one else and that nothing can take from you. In the final upcoming quote, Marcus will give you the key to living in alignment with your truest self, to rise above other people's opinions, stop chasing approval, and start living freely as a Stoic soul. Keep going, because the deepest truth is just ahead. Quote number 10 is coming. Quote number 10, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one. Marcus Aurelius didn't care for fancy words. He had no interest in endless philosophical debates about ethics, morality, or how to live right, because he understood one simple truth. True virtue isn't found in words, it's found in action. Picture this. You're standing in a crowded room. Everyone is talking about integrity, sharing ideas about character and what it means to be a good person. But then someone in the room needs help, and suddenly the room goes silent. At that moment, Marcus wouldn't say a word. He would step forward and act. That's Stoicism. No loud declarations, no self-promotion. Just living, just practicing, moment by moment, choice by choice, response by response. Stoic practice number 10. Make virtue a habit, not a performance. Don't live for people to call you kind. Be kind because that's who you choose to be. Not because you're praised, but because that's the path you've committed to. Marcus didn't write to be admired. He wrote to train his soul, like a soldier sharpening his mind in the shadows. And now, 2,000 years later, the world still finds light in his words because he lived what he wrote. Who do you want to be? Someone who talks about virtue or someone who quietly lives it? Someone who writes about ideals, or someone who has the courage to walk them out, even through fear? Marcus never needed anyone to call him a good man, because he became one through action, through the way he forgave, stayed calm, loved with discipline, and battled his own ego every single day. Be one, simple, profound, nothing left to argue. You already know what's right. Now it's time to live it. You've just walked with Marcus Aurelius through 10 quotes that can completely reshape how you live, think, and respond to the world. But the final question is this: will you just listen, or will you live as a true Stoic? Let's head into the conclusion, where you'll get the final push to take what you've learned and breathe it into every part of your life. Don't just admire Marcus Aurelius, become your own Stoic. We've just walked alongside an emperor, not through golden palaces, but through the deeper corridors of the human mind. Each quote you heard wasn't just ancient philosophy, it was a mirror. A mirror to reflect on yourself. Are you living with intention or getting swept away by emotions? Are you trying to control others or learning to master yourself? Are you waiting for the world to change or becoming the change you want to see? Marcus Aurelius wasn't just a philosopher. He was a father, a warrior, a leader, and above all, a man wrestling with himself every single day. And he left us a priceless gift. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. So what will you do after this video? Click away and watch the next thing? Or pause, reflect, and start living each moment like a Stoic warrior? Remember, the philosophy isn't for display. It's for action, and our first action can begin right now. If something in Marcus's words stirred something in you, hit or like, subscribe, and share this video with someone you believe needs a little light from Stoic wisdom. And in the comments below, write, "I choose to become the master of myself." No explanation needed, just commitment. You don't have to be an emperor to live with greatness. You just need the courage to face yourself every single day. See you in the next video, where we'll continue the journey toward inner freedom. Stoic on.